So I'm watching Daniel Jones last night, and there's a story this morning that the Indianapolis Colts, quote, are evaluating everything because, as we told you yesterday, Anthony Richardson, 10 for 32, they can't sustain drives. It's big player bust. And he is completing 44% this year. That's 15% lower than last year. So he's getting worse with Shane Steichen and Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor. He's getting worse, meaning the NFL got film of him. I mean, last year he was a bit of an experiment, and Shane Steichen's a good coach. So the rest of the NFL's like, what is this guy? Well, what it's telling you for him to drop with Shane Steichen is everybody now has film on him, and they just know he can't make about 75% of the throws a franchise quarterback makes. It's not that his mechanics are getting worse. It's not that he's getting worse. Everybody around him now, it's like Tebow. You saw the truth. He can't make certain throws. And so if you're totally honest, right now, if you're totally honest about teams that don't have a quarterback that can't really win a playoff game unless everything went perfect, I would say, to me, there are 8 teams total in the NFL that need to get a quarterback. Titans, Colts, Raiders, Cleveland, and then Giants, Carolina, Saints, and Seahawks to really elevate. Geno's probably the best in that group, but if you're really talking about winning multiple playoff games, those teams have to upgrade. What is interesting, and this is really interesting, and people are finally starting to come around on this, is Aaron Rodgers in that group. Hold on. I went back this morning to 25 games. I won't count the game he was hurt. Last year, game 1, 4 plays. Won't count it. So let's go 25 games. Big, solid number. He's had different coaches, different organizations, different coordinators, different wide receivers. In those 25 games for Aaron Rodgers, he has no 300-yard passing games. Longest streak in the league. None. And let me name the receivers that he has had an opportunity in those games to throw.
He's getting a little distracted here. I want to talk about Indianapolis Colts and Anthony Richardson. I'm in 100% agreement with Colin right here. I want to be wrong, right? I want this to be a Jordan Love situation where Colin is like, Jordan Love is not the guy. They're in trouble. And now the other day, last week, Colin said that Jordan Love it can be as great as Patrick Mahomes, right? So I want that to be true. It just really doesn't feel like it's going to be. And we talk about players being wasted on teams that aren't good or with coaches that aren't good, right? And how teams can fail a quarterback or coaches can fail a team and fail a quarterback. I want the Indianapolis Colts to really understand who they have as their head coach, Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen is a great offensive coach. Great. And not giving him a legitimate quarterback to work with, you're going to waste Shane Steichen. Seriously, you're going to waste Shane Steichen. Give him a legit quarterback, and the dude makes magic. You saw what he did with Justin Herbert and the Chargers. You saw what he did with the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts. Made magic, okay? So this is the problem. You're having a great coach, and there is Anthony Richardson. You could make the argument if Shane Steichen was a terrible coach, and you could be like, well, hey, and they need a better coach and to get the best out of Anthony Richardson. Because a lot of people keep saying Anthony Richardson needs to be developed. You don't go from 10 for 32 and then develop into a quarterback that can now throw 60% completion percentage because he's just wildly inaccurate. I mean, he's just kind of a mess, unfortunately. 10 for 32, 175 yards, 2 fumbles, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a 48.3 rating. 2 for 13 on third down. And yet they still almost won. Like, that's the crazy thing. That's Shane Steichen's game management and just the roster that the Colts have going up against, a tough Texans team. I mean, with a legitimate quarterback, this team is a contender. You saw that the Colts were a contender with Gardner Minshew. You saw the Colts being a contender with Joe Flacco. When Shane Steichen had Joe Flacco, this team instantly became competitive and was instantly better. And their production shot through the roof. Their third down conversion rate shot through the roof. So it's just tough. And the reality is that the locker room will just rebel. They will. They're not here to have a quarterback go 10 for 32. They're not here to say, oh, well, we just need a quarterback. We just need to develop him. They're not here for that, man. They're just not. They're not interested in that. They want to win. They're sacrificing their body. They're having their own blood, sweat, and tears. They're trying to take care of their family, their career, their dreams and goals and aspirations. They're not living in Anthony Richardson's world. They're living in their own world. So it's just this, Anthony Richardson isn't the main character in their movie. So believe me, they are going to just, be furious about this. And you risk losing the locker room and then just, having a culture just implode. And so, I mean, look what Jaden Daniels is doing right now. Look at what Caleb is doing. Look at what Bo Nix is doing. It's all better than what Anthony Richardson is doing. I understand Caleb Williams is not playing like Patrick Mahomes right now. I know Jaden Daniels is playing exceptionally well. I know Bo Nix has had some rough games and stuff. But all of those quarterbacks are playing significantly better than what Anthony Richardson is doing. I mean, it's not even up for debate. I mean, we can go through it. I mean, let's just go through PFF, okay? Passing grades. Let's just go through, offense. I mean, Anthony Richardson is above Bryce Young, Will Levis, and Aiden O'Connell. Okay? He's below everyone else. Spencer Rattler is playing better than him. I mean, it's just... And again, it's not to say that maybe, that some of these other quarterbacks are necessarily balling out, but they're doing better than him. Because Anthony Richardson is... Because even if we don't want to use the rankings, because we can see... It's a little hard to see. There's 36. He's ranked 36 right now. He's at 48.7 for his total offensive rating, right? You could be like, oh, well, he's just a few notches below Caleb. And it's like, yeah, but Caleb is ranked nearly 62. Okay? I mean, that's a huge order of magnitude. Bo Nix, 66.5. And obviously Jaden Daniels, who is really playing exceptional, is all the way up at 85. Right? And then even if we want to even kind of just zero in on just like, let's look at accuracy, he is literally, statistically, the least accurate quarterback at 57.9% of his throws are on target. He is the worst quarterback in the NFL. The worst quarterback in terms of accuracy. And that's counting for throwaways and, like intentional bad throws, essentially, bad throws intentionally, right? Spikes, all that type of stuff. Like that's taking that into consideration. So it's just his percent of bad throws, he's leading the league with the highest percentage of bad throws. I mean, that is something. And that's not something that you just magically develop. Because it's not like he's just struggling, right? It's one thing to be leading the league or being at the bottom, whatever it may be, in some of those things. But it's like exceptionally bad, right? Like it's yards, not inches. That's the difference. And so it's so hard to see how this gets corrected, especially when you have a great coach. When you have some pieces around you that you can that you can thrive. When you see a 39-year-old quarterback come off the couch and instantly do better. That is a fundamental issue that the Indianapolis Colts have to fix sooner rather than later. You lose the locker room, you lose the team, you lose the culture. Free agents won't want to come there, which will be a big problem. And you're just wasting the brilliance of Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen can turn the Indianapolis Colts into a Super Bowl team. Okay, he was a play away from getting to the playoffs with Gardner Minshew at the helm. Look what another coach does with Gardner Minshew with the Raiders. It just crashes. Look what Sam Darnold was doing with the New York Jets and the Panthers. Not much. Then he gets to Kevin O'Connell. Boom. Balling out. You have a brilliant coach. You just need a competent, average quarterback. Top 20, top 15 quarterback. And you're going to be competitive and a contender. You get a legit quarterback. You get a top 10 quarterback, top 5 quarterback. You're going to be amazing for years to come. Amazing for years to come. A team that is consistently talked about as, well, you got to deal with the Indianapolis Colts. Who can beat the Indianapolis Colts this season? Indianapolis Colts are definitely a contender. They have the 4th, 3rd best odds to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's what's at stake. Get that quarterback. Don't say, well, Anthony Richardson. Get out and get that quarterback. And you instantly become a threat. You instantly become a contender. But with this, I don't know what this is, honestly. And I feel bad saying it. I do. But this is not the answer for the Indianapolis Colts. And again, I really, 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 truly, from the bottom of my heart, hope I'm wrong. I really do. Because I don't want to root for anyone to fail. I have no desire to do that. I'd rather be wrong and everyone be like, ha, you were wrong. Remember what you said about Anthony Richardson 2 years ago? Yeah, I was dead wrong. And isn't it amazing that he won 2 MVPs and a Super Bowl? I'd love that. I would love that. I swear. I'd absolutely love that. But it's just really hard to see at this point. As Greg Cosell has talked about it, John Middlecoff has talked about it, he's missing high school throws. Right? You can't miss high school level throws in the NFL. And there's no one really to blame. That's the thing. It's on him. You can't be like, well, he's got no one to throw to. Well, he's got no offensive line. Well, he's got no this. Needs a better coach. He needs a better coordinator. Those excuses are not relevant for this conversation. And that's why it all connects to Anthony Richardson. That's the problem. When other quarterbacks have struggled in this light, you could say, well, he's got a terrible offensive line. Well, he has a terrible coach. They need to move on from this coach. This is a defensive coach who doesn't know what he's doing. Right? You can point at those things. You can't do that with this team and this coaching staff. You just can't. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts? Should they be in the market for a new quarterback? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.